One of the discussions, of course, right now is on the debt ceiling, Secretary Buttigieg. And I was intrigued to see, one of the proposals about, repealing, clean energy tax credits and such. But tell me how this debate is impacting or could impact your ability to, fulfill the duties essentially of, the transportation department.
Well, the simple reality is if the House Republican budget framework passed, there would be severe impacts for airline passengers. And there's a couple of reasons for that. One, it would cut TSA resources, and that would mean longer lines and security at airports. That's a Homeland Security issue, but certainly one I'm raising because it affects transportation. And then here at the DOT, it would stop us in our tracks on some very important work that we're doing, both to grow our workforce of air traffic controllers and to modernize systems like the Notice to Air Mission system that when it went out just for 90 minutes on one day in January, it wreaked havoc on our system. And so we need to be doing more and not less with air traffic controllers and with the computers that are behind them. And yet this budget proposal would slash that. Matter of fact, every FAA employee would have to be furloughed for a number of days. It would halt our modernization efforts. Hundreds of air traffic controller towers would actually close if you just do the simple math on their proposal. So there is a lot at stake for aviation and for airline passengers in those proposed budget cuts. And I think it's important to get that out there because sometimes certainly House Republicans have, I think, played off an impression that anything besides defense is trivial or at least is expendable, that they keep saying, okay, they're going to leave defense alone, but any kind of discretionary spending they're going to cut. Well, non-defense discretionary spending includes things like the FAA. And if you cut it, especially if you cut it at the levels that we would face, which is about 22%, there's no way you can absorb that cut without it having direct effects on things like cancellations and delays for airline passengers and time spent waiting in security. And it's telling to me that even though I've been talking about that everywhere I go, and even though House Republicans voted for a budget framework that would do this, they haven't really debated us. They haven't come back and said, well, here's why those cuts are worth it, or here's why those cuts are justified. They also haven't shown that this would not be the effect, which I think demonstrates that their position is not one that actually makes sense because they don't even want to defend it.